As he's leaving Arsenal because of doubts over Arsene Wenger's future. Wenger's contract expires at the end of the season and Henry doesn't want to be at Arsenal without him. He'll become a Barcelona player next week, provided he passes his medical on Monday. Well, let's go live to Barcelona now and join Brian Swanson, who's there for us. What's the reaction been over there, Brian?
Vicky, the reaction here has been one of excitement. The Barcelona fans have been surprised at just how quickly this deal has been sealed. Of course, it's yet to be completely confirmed, but all the Barcelona sources and officials that I've been speaking to today say that's it, deal done, and they are ready to welcome Thierry Henry here to Spain. And as far as the fans are concerned, they believe that this is one up on their big rivals, Real Madrid. They believe that this is a player that can bring so much quality, so much extra quality to this Barcelona side. But certainly, walking around the Nou Camp today, you really feel this sense of excitement. We saw some of the replica shirts that have already been made up in the official club store with Henry in the back. So certainly there is much anticipation here as they prepare to welcome Thierry Henry, their new signing, to Barcelona very soon.
So excitement from the fans, Brian, but what do you think will be the reaction of the other players to Henry's move?
That's the big question, and that's causing much debate around the bars here in Barcelona this evening. All the talk is, of course, when we've been dealing with Real Madrid, we've talked about the Galacticos. Here at Barcelona, they have some big-name players, particularly up front. You look at Ronaldinho, you look at Messi, you look at Samuel Eto'o. It's going to be interesting indeed to see how Frank Rijkaard copes with this. He's not presumably bringing Thierry Henry here to sit on the bench all the time. So it is generating a lot of debate here in Barcelona. We've been speaking to some seasoned observers of the club, and this is how they feel Henry will be welcomed into the squad.
I think that Henry has a lot of numbers to be the star here in Barcelona and to be the hero of the hero for the supporters, and it depends to his relation with the players. I think that Ronaldinho, Messi open his arms and his heart, but Samuel Eto'o, I don't know. I don't know, because Eto'o always he wants to be the only stars. He wants to be the protagonist of the history. And now they arrive Thierry Henry, probably the best goal striker in the world.
So Brian, what's scheduled to happen next out there?
Barcelona have been very quick to point out that they want all this signed, sealed and delivered as quickly as possible. We are expecting to see Thierry Henry here in Barcelona within the next 24 hours. He is expected into Barcelona airport around about late afternoon, early evening tomorrow. He will then have his medical, we understand, on Monday morning around about 9-10 o'clock Spanish time. We're an hour ahead of you back in the UK. And then there is every expectation that Thierry Henry will be paraded in front of the world's media at around about 4 or 5 o'clock on Monday night. Those times have still to be confirmed, but as far as Barcelona are concerned, they're desperate now to get Henry over here. They really want to show the world that they have got him. He will be paraded out in the Nou Camp pitch with that Barcelona strip, and then they want him to go away on holiday, they want him to relax, and they want that La Liga title.
Thanks, Brian. Well, that's the reaction in Spain. Well, let's get the reaction among the Arsenal fans. Dan Rowan is at the Emirates Stadium for us. Dan, what's Henry's movements been today?
Well, Vicky, he was actually here at the Emirates Stadium a short while ago, recording a televised message to the Arsenal fans that we'll bring you actually on Sky Sports News in a short while. That will be released by the club in the next hour or so. But before that, he was actually at his North London residence, the home that he's lived in, of course, for the last 8 years. I was there along with a large proportion of other representatives from the media and from newspapers, lots of photographers. We can actually show you those shots now, in fact, as he left. He's an intensely private man, of course, Thierry Henry, and he had very little to say as he left his house in that 4x4, the windows tinted out, so you couldn't really get a good view of him. But he was making his way here to the Emirates Stadium, where, of course, he played his football last season. It seems to say one final goodbye to the fans and to the staff who he's grown to know so well here. And it has to be said that the storm clouds are gathering behind me above the Emirates Stadium, and it is apt, really, because there is this real sense of depression and foreboding surrounding Arsenal Football Club tonight. They will miss him, of course. It's fair to say, I think, that we will all miss Thierry Henry. He was Premiership box office, wasn't he? He was one of the great entertainers, and not just the way he played football, but also how successful he was. 8 glorious years he enjoyed here at Arsenal Football Club since Arsene Wenger brought him to North London from Juventus back in 1999. 4 FA Cups, 2 titles, 226 goals in 364 games. He really did represent, he was the talisman, wasn't he, of that very successful Arsenal side. Now they're having to come to terms with him leaving. We spoke to quite a few of the fans here this afternoon, and I was struck in particular by one couple who have actually just got married a short time ago today, and they were actually having the reception behind me in the Emirates Stadium banqueting suite as we speak, and they arrived here about 20 minutes ago. We caught up with them. Just listen to this, because it just shows you just how gutted some of these Arsenal fans are.
Devastated, really. He's been at the club since I've known about Arsenal, and I can't really explain how I feel.
Great player.
Yeah.
Shame to lose him.
What does it mean for the club now, do you think?
They're going to have to bring in a good striker to replace him.
Yeah, like Samuel Eto'o or someone like that.
We don't mind him, we can have him.
Yeah.
Does this mean that Arsene Wenger's on his way out as well, do you think?
Probably yes, because he left because Wenger wasn't sure where his future was going to lie. So I wouldn't like to say, you know, if he is going to be here next season or not. But I mean, obviously I'd like to see him because he's done a lot for the club, you know.
It's sad to see him go. If I were to blame someone, I would blame the chairman, because if Kroenke would come, if David Dean been here, yeah, we would have big name signs instead of losing big players. Now Thierry's gone, Cesc will follow him, Colo will follow him, William will follow him.
Guys, a special day. You got married today, and now you're here at the Emirates. How do you feel?
Great.
Great.
Yeah, I feel great and everything. I mean, happy to get married and everything, but the only thing that I'm disappointed with me about having our wedding day today at this venue, the Emirates, is obviously the sad news yesterday of Henry leaving the club.
Hasn't ruined your big day, has it?
No.
No.
No, it hasn't ruined it, but just disappointing. Me, as an Arsenal supporter, disappointed.
Disappointed there, not ruined their day. But with Henry leaving, are the concerns over the future of the club? What are those concerns now, the future of it?
Well, it has to be said, Vicky, that the fans that I've spoken to here at the Emirates today talk of a crisis at Arsenal. You can't help feel that the Arsenal that we've all grown to know so well over the last few years is slowly beginning to die a death. First of all, we had the likes of Patrick Vieira and Robert Perez leave the club, of course, for pastures new. And then, and perhaps most significantly, the Arsenal vice-chairman, David Dein, who made that shock departure just a few weeks ago, a departure which, of course, Thierry Henry had already spoken about as having an unsettling influence on the club. We noticed how close he was to Dein and, of course, Dean's son, who was his advisor and also his best man at his wedding. And, of course, finally, Arsene Wenger, now his position is very much uncertain right now. We understand that Thierry Henry referred, of course, to his departure in this televised message that he's going to give to Arsenal fans tonight. Wenger only has 1 year left on his contract. He's yet to sign a new deal. And it seems that that was the final tipping point for Thierry Henry. And many of the fans genuinely believe that Arsene Wenger is the next man to leave the club. And once that happens, then all that's been built here at both Highbury before and now at the Emirates Stadium will be under threat. They talk about Cesc Fabregas perhaps considering his future as well. There is huge levels of uncertainty and worry tonight here at the Emirates Stadium about Arsenal. They feel for Thierry Henry. I think that most of them do feel that he deserves one last crack at the big time with Barcelona. They don't really resent him going. They understand why, but there is an element of anger as well at the Arsenal board about the uncertainty over the possibility of foreign investment in the form of Stan Kroenke, of course, the American billionaire. That was why David Dein, of course, decided to leave the board finally. And now they're having to come to terms with the loss of their favourite son, Thierry Henry.
Dan, thanks very much. Has refused to rule out the possibility of a takeover at Arsenal. Eccleston has already spoken to former Arsenal vice-chairman David Dein. In the past, he's been interested in buying Chelsea, but admits he may now turn his attention to North London.
Two big guns are after Arsenal. One's waiting for an invite, the other could be coming, ready or not. Stan Kroenke, American sports fan and member of the mighty Walmart family, is expected to bid even if the current board don't want him. But Formula One boss Bernie Eccleston is only keen to join the race if asked. He says I've not spoken to anybody at Arsenal. I obviously talked to David Dean when they chucked him out, which I thought was a bit unnecessary. But if somebody offers me something that I think has got good value, I will have a go. Eccleston, worth £3 billion, is close to David Dean. His daughter is dating Dean's son. But Arsenal legend Ian Wright believes Dean would be a part of the American bid too, and has no qualms about the Emirates going into foreign ownership.
I'm not bothered how it goes because I know that Kroenke, he is a sports, he's very much sport orientated. He loves sport, and you know, I think that he will only want to do well for Arsenal. He won't want to do anything in respects of changing the history or anything. Just wants to invest in a great football club.
Ian Wright says he's more bothered about bank balance than birthplace. But what about the fans? Would they prefer an Englishman or an American?
I'm concerned about Americans because they just want to buy everything and you don't know what they're going to do with it when they've got it.
Eccleston, if that's true, that's a good idea.
I prefer Eccleston because he's an Englishman. I know the tradition with the club.
Eccleston, I think, preferably.
Eccleston, the popular choice, even though he's regularly seen at Chelsea games and tried to take over there before Roman Abramovich. Eccleston admits he's no Abramovich and not a big football fan. In an interview 2 years ago, he said, "I'm notoriously careful about my spending. I don't think I would fork out anywhere near as much as Roman. I don't understand the game too well. I used to say that if there was a football match packed with stars being played in my back garden, I wouldn't open the back door to take a look." Eccleston may not be a big fan of the game, but those who know him well say that wouldn't stop him giving his all to Arsenal.
He's got this incredible drive, he's got this amazing energy for someone who's 70 plus. He's a workaholic, and you know, if he took his expertise into football as he's taken it into other areas of sport, then I can see him turning things around.
There's nothing official yet to confirm whether Arsenal is to be acquired by someone, but if it is, the battle lines are drawn between two men with a sports pedigree, the American and the Englishman. Gary Cottrell, Sky Sports. No Gallas or Gilberto, so it was Kolo Touré who captained the side, Arsene Wenger living up to his promise to share around the armband following the departure of Thierry Henry. This was like Paris Saint-Germain versus Paris Saint-Gunners. 5 of the Arsenal squad grew up supporting PSG. Our VP, Robin van Persie, isn't one of them, but it was his run and subsequent free kick that gave Arsenal their first chance of the match. The captain made a mess of this clearance, leaving Almunia to tidy up after Paoletta. Then, in added time, Bentner found Flamini, a goal for Arsenal, and in this competition, goals mean points. Wholesale changes for Arsenal in the second half, but Bentner stayed on and had a chance to add to Arsenal's lead. He missed that one, but 3 minutes later, from a Denilson corner, Bentner did score his first ever goal at the Emirates Stadium.
Yes, it is a tap-in, but he's very cool with it.
Luandula got one back for PSG. Alexander Kleb won a penalty. Bentner braced himself for a brace, but failed. Arsenal play Inter next. Gary Cottrell, Sky Sports.
Well, overall, I felt we became stronger as the game went on, and against a team who starts the championship next week, who didn't concede a goal until now in our friendlies, and overall we scored 2. We had the penalty, and we had as well 1 or 2 chances in the first half, but in the second half we took really control. But Paris Saint-Germain played well. I feel overall it was a good game.
Nicholas Bentner will probably make the headlines tomorrow. What did you make of his performance?
Well, I felt that, of course, he still lacks some experience, but as well you have seen ingredients there, but there's a special talent. And he did fight. He's on the good way, and overall we need to give him some time, but overall his experience today will help him to improve, and I believe that what he has shown is encouraging.
Earlier, Valencia opened the Emirates Cup with a 2-0 victory against Serie A champions Inter Milan. Jamie Gavilan gave them the lead on 13 minutes with this. And Brazilian defender Maxwell could have equalised for Inter, but his shot found the post. David Villa's free kick made it 2-0. The replay shows the ball took a deflection off Gavilan. Inter never really looked like scoring in the second half, and Miguel Angelo could have made it 3 to Valencia, but he couldn't connect. So Valencia and Arsenal both on 5 points. Remember, in this tournament, there's 3 points for a win and a point for every goal scored. So PSG's late goal against Arsenal puts them above Inter. And the second day of the Emirates Cup sees PSG take on Valencia, and then it's Arsenal against Inter Milan. Both games are live on Sky Sports 2 from 1:30.
England and Arsenal, and had it not been for Julio Cesar in the Inter goal, they would have gone in front. First he saved well from Robin van Persie. Well, then the Dutchman tried to catch the keeper out from an acute angle, but again he was denied. Matthew Flamini scored against PSG yesterday. Cesar prevented him from finding the net again. In the second half, totally against the run of play, Inter took the lead when a header from David Suazo went in off the post. Arsenal, though, weren't behind for too long. 5 minutes later, Cesar blocked Alexander Kleb's effort, but he could do nothing about the rebound. The home side continued to search for a winner, but yet again Cesar kept Inter in it, this time saving from Van Persie. But Arsenal's dominance was finally rewarded with the winning goal 5 minutes from time.
Van Persie, can he find a way through? Oh, yes he can! A crowning goal for Arsenal and Robin Van Persie, and that should be enough to win them the cup.
We had never bad feeling inside the team, you know. We have a great spirit, they enjoy to play together, and they have shown that again together. We had quality, we had movement, we had the game we want to play, and we won. Being 1-0 down, we have shown as well some strength to come back and win the game.
And how important to win the competition?
Well, we are in pre-season friendly, so you have to give the result the importance it has. But for us, who comes with a team who come out of a difficult season, it's important to build up the belief, and when you win, it helps.
Robin van Persie doesn't score many normal goals, does he?
Well, he can score great goals, and he has special talent. And what I liked in his performance today is, of course, that he scored a good goal, but his team performance was outstanding.
Yeah, I think it was a good goal, but my main thing, and I think everyone's main thing, is that the play was absolutely tremendous. Everyone played at the top level, and this early already. So I think everyone at this team today earns lots of credit.
There's a real intensity about Arsenal, particularly in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. But I think personally it was all game. We played fantastic, and we all played together the Arsenal way. So for me, and I think for everyone, because I spoke to them as well, it was a big joy to play today.
Pre-seasons aren't normally as glamorous as this. 60,000 in, big opposition. Did that lift the whole team?
I think so, yeah, of course. When there are 60,000 people in the stadium, everyone gets a big boost. And but I think this team is young, very talented. It doesn't really matter if there are 60,000 or 30 or 12 whatsoever. This team wants to play. This team wants to run for each other. That's why for me and for everyone, it's a big joy to play in this team.
In the first game, though, of the afternoon, Paris Saint-Germain beat Valencia 3-0. Paris Saint-Germain made the better start in the game, and they missed several chances before finally taking the lead. Diane getting the goal. Good start, and the French side got a deserved second goal before the break. Ngog this time with the finishing touch. (2-0) at half-time then, and Valencia's best chance to get back into the game came just after the break. Former Liverpool striker Fernando Morientes putting his shot just wide.
and PSG went on to wrap up the game just before full-time. Peggy Loyendula making it 4 goals now in 4 pre-season games for him.
I just wonder, are there parallels between PSG and Arsenal, and that you all have lots of youngsters, don't you, with a lot of promise?
Yes, but we must recognize that we are far from them. They are a big club with great results for a long time, and we need to improve to reach such a level. But it's a good example, you are right.
What have you made of this competition, the Emirates Cup? Do you think it's here for the future?
Yes, it's good for us to play such games, and it's an honor to be there, and I am pleased with the way we played both games, yes.
I played 2 years with Cherry, and you know, everyone expected him to have joined Barca last season, and then he made up his mind. And but you know, him coming to Barcelona now, you can see it in the press. You know, 30,000 people coming for him in his signing, and I think it's a fantastic signing for Barcelona, and I think there will be you know, competing for the championship and the Champions League as well. Cherry was the face of Arsenal the last years, and the captain, and it was very important for all the players. But I think they have still you know, players who can fill the gap that Cherry has left.
Well, one of those players Arsene Wenger hopes will help replace Henry is Eduardo da Silva. He was impressed by the striker's all-round performance in the win over Lazio at the Amsterdam tournament. The Croatia international celebrated getting a work permit with his first goal for the club. Lazio had a good early chance. Goran Pandev looked certain to score, but Filip Senderos cleared the danger. Arsenal took the lead shortly afterwards. Cesc Fabregas' shot deflected into the path of Nicolas Bentner, who continues his good pre-season form. All eyes were on Arsene Wenger's most expensive summer recruit, Da Silva, but he was closely marked by the Lazio defenders. The Italians equalised just before half-time. Pandev the scorer. Arsenal wanted the goal disallowed for an apparent foul on Da Silva, but the ref let it stand. Da Silva opened his Arsenal account early in the second half. 2-1 the final score.
Yes, overall I feel we had a consistent performance, and Eduardo played well. He celebrated his work permit very well today and scored a goal. That is always very important. But overall, his integration in the team play was very good.
How worried were you that he wouldn't get the work permit, and what exactly did you have to do today to get it secured?
Well, I feel we had a lot of good vibes because he's a regular player in the Croatian team who's topping the English group, and anyway in 3 months he will have a 75%. So we were confident, but you never know. You have to accept the decision, you know.
Week they beat Ajax 1-0 to clinch the Amsterdam tournament. A late goal by Robin van Persie won it for Arsenal.
Cesc Fabregas was taken ill just 25 minutes before kick-off, so was missing for Arsenal's final pre-season game. Rosiska's free kick provided Arsenal's first chance, but it was the next free kick that really tested the Ajax keeper.
Touré's there! What a save! Fantastic effort from Stekelenburg from such close range. How did he stop that?
Dennis Rommedahl and Wesley Sneijder had the best of Ajax's chances. In the second half, Van Persie felt the sharp end of an elbow and reacted. Not wise for a man already on a yellow. But he stayed on and was very nearly on the score sheet. Soon after, new man Eduardo came just as close. Then the ups and downs of football on show in one 2-minute spell for Van Persie. First this.
He's picked out Van Persie! And that's the winner, surely!
and this. The image looked bad for Arsenal, but this image looked better. Gary Cottrell, Sky Sports.
How concerned are you by Robin van Persie's injury? It was the same foot he broke last season, wasn't it?
Yes, I was very disappointed by this tackle, but he looks all right at the moment.
And just a couple of final points. Could you confirm for us if you're still active in the transfer market and if there's any business pending?
Well, I'm not sleeping, but as well you have seen that today we had Gilberto out in midfield. We had Song didn't play, Diaby didn't play, Fabregas didn't play, so we have plenty of quality players, and therefore the pre-season tells you that you have a big squad.
And for all of the fans watching at home who are wondering what's happening with your situation, your contract, and extending that perhaps, are you in talks? Could you just clarify where you are at the moment?
Yeah, I will come out at the right moment, don't worry about that.
But talks are taking place, are they?
Yeah.
In the earlier game, Atletico Madrid beat Lazio 3-1. Jose Antonio Reyes' free kick found Brado just before half-time. In the 67th minute, former Liverpool midfielder Luis Garcia, who signed in the summer, made it 2-0.
Oh, my word! He hasn't just found a bit of room, he's found the net, and in spectacular style.
Well, a minute later, Lazio pulled one back. Some good work from Goran Pandev. Set up Mori to make it 2-1. But Atletico made sure of the win 2 minutes later when some poor defending from Lazio allowed Reyes to score on his debut. Final score 3-1 to Atletico.
Tottenham beat Torino 2-0 to make it 7 wins out of 7 in pre-season. The record signing Darren Bent had to settle for a place on the bench. Defender Yunus Kabul was